a Maryland lawmaker has unveiled a bill to place a cannabis legalization ballot measure before the state's voters next year. The legislation, House Bill 1, was pre-filed by Democratic Del. Luke Clippinger and will be introduced when the Maryland General Assembly convenes on January 12, 2022. If approved by lawmakers, the bill would place the question: do you favor the legalization of adult-use cannabis in the state of Maryland? On ballots for the November 2022 general election. To pass, the measure must receive a supermajority of at least 3/5 of the votes in both the Senate and House of Delegates. If the referendum is passed by voters, the state constitution would be amended to legalize the use and possession of cannabis by adults 21 and older, beginning in July 2023. Lawmakers would also be required to pass further legislation to regulate the use, distribution, possession, regulation, and taxation of cannabis within the state, according to the text of the bill, which was published online last week. Advocates for cannabis legalization expressed support for the bill but called on lawmakers to make changes including allowing home cultivation of marijuana, adding provisions to foster social equity in the cannabis industry, and immediate legalization of personal possession upon passage of the legislation. We strongly urge legislators to revise the proposal to legalize possession and home cultivation upon enactment. We also urge the legislature to pass implementing legislation in 2022 to ensure racial justice is at the heart of legalization, and to allow for a more timely transition to a safe, redo. A Goucher College poll published in March found that nearly 2/3 of Maryland residents support legalizing cannabis, including 77% of Democrats, 50% of Republicans and 60% of independent voters. Mileah Kromer, director of the Sarah T. Hughes Field Politics Center at Goucher College, noted that the poll marked the first time Republican support for cannabis legalization in the state had reached at least 50%. Clippinger chairs Maryland's House Cannabis Referendum and Legalization Workgroup, which was assembled in September to study issues related to the legalization of cannabis in the state. The working group of 10 members of the Maryland House of Delegates is tasked with creating a plan to legalize cannabis for use by adults while addressing the damage created by the war on drugs.